Okay, so Liverpool win the UEFA Super Cup against Chelsea, 2-2 after extra time, win it 5-4 on penalties. We'll do a quick match review, match analysis, have a look at some stats on the match, and then we'll go through the player ratings, and again we'll back those up with stats for the defence, the midfield and attack. Now, if you want to keep up to date with videos like this on Liverpool and the other top Premier League clubs, both in the Premier League and in Europe, we do player analysis, full player profiles, transfer news, match analysis like this, and Premier League predictions as well. Just click the red subscribe button below, click the bell notification, and you'll be kept up to date when I upload new videos. So Liverpool win it. Felt a little bit sorry for Chelsea because they came close at times, but I think Liverpool just edged it. If you take the whole game into comparison. Now the first half, pretty sort of narrow affair. I think again Liverpool just edged it, but when as the game went through, you felt that Chelsea were getting on top. Then Liverpool came back. On 34 minutes, the first goal came. Chelsea went 1-0 up. Kante was driving forward. He passed the ball to Pulisic. He sort of went right across the penalty area, and then a reverse pass back to Giroud on the left-hand side of the penalty area, and he superb finish with his left foot to take a 1-0 lead. And Liverpool were just starting to rock at that point, and then at 39 minutes, there was a goal again. Pulisic was ruled offside just. So definitely Chelsea finished the stronger of the two in the first half. I'll just put up on screen now some stats so you can see. It was pretty even. Liverpool just edged the possession, edged the shots, and edged the shots on target. Chelsea passed the ball a little bit better. Now, the notes I made on the first half were Fabinho, Henderson and Milner. Really, I thought they lost the midfield battle. And I'll put you some stats up on screen now to show that. You can see there, I've done it for the 3 Liverpool midfielders and the 3 Chelsea midfielders. And the pass accuracy across the Chelsea 3 midfielders was better. Milner was particularly low, but also they saw more of the ball. Sorry, on the second part of the screen there it says total shots for Chelsea. It should say touches, but they touched the ball quite a lot more. They seemed to control the midfield for me. Satyam Arnie, I thought he had a good game overall, but he didn't quite get into it in the first half, and I prefer him more out on the left than down the centre. I thought Chelsea had good shape. I thought they won the ball well. They broke quickly, and Pulisic was their main outlet when they did break. I was impressed by Pulisic and Kante. And at half time for Liverpool, Oxlade-Chamberlain got subbed. Didn't really think he got into the match at all. So that was the first half. Chelsea edged it on goals 1-0. I thought Liverpool just slightly edged the half overall. So into the second half, and Liverpool started really brightly, and the goal came straight away on 47 minutes, 1-1. Satyam Arnie got the goal. Fabinho knocked a ball, dinked it just over the top of the defence into the penalty area. I think it was Firmino, just got his toe to it ahead of the keeper, and there was Satyam Arnie just to tap it in. A nice easy one for him, but he was there in the right place at the right time. A couple more chances came shortly after for Liverpool. Fabinho shot just wide. Then Chelsea came back and had a couple of chances. And we got to the end of the second half. And again, it was a pretty tight affair, although I thought that Liverpool edged it in terms of possession and shots, etc. And we finished the 90 minutes on 1-1. So into extra time. And goal 2-1 on 94 minutes that was. Mane plays Firmino in down the left. He goes to the byline, pulls it back, and Mane's running onto it, and a cracking shot into the roof of the net. 2-1 to Liverpool, and you thought at that point they were going to go ahead and win it and get my prediction of 3-1. Wasn't to be. I think it was 99 minutes. A goal for Chelsea, 2-2. The goalkeeper, Adrian, was judged to have brought down Tammy Abrahams in the box. I'm not so sure he did. I watched the replay several times, and it was a harsh penalty. But Jorginho stepped up, scored it, made it 2-2. That was it. The game finished on full time. On extra time, 2-2. So we're into penalties. Penalties were as always a nervy affair. We had Fabinho, Origi, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Salah all step up and scored their 5. Chelsea scored their first 4, Jorginho, Barclay, Mount, Emerson, and then Tammy Abrahams, a young centre-forward, unfortunately had his penalty saved by Adrian, and Adrian, who's basically didn't have a club a couple of weeks ago, hadn't really played for West Ham much recently, and there he is, the glory boy, winning the game for Liverpool, and their UEFA Super Cup champions for 2019, 5-4 on penalties. So we'll just have a look at some full-time stats. I'll put those up on screen. And you can see, I think Liverpool did edge it overall. They had the better of the possession, 53%, Chelsea 47%. Total shots, again, only just edging it, 21 to Chelsea's 20, but a little bit more accurate in front of goal, 11 on target as opposed to Chelsea's 6. And then equal success really on the passing success. They both kept the ball reasonably well. So we'll now have a look at some player ratings for Liverpool. We'll start off with Adrian in goal. I'm going to give him the man of the match. I'm going to give him an 8.5. I thought he made some good saves throughout the game. I'm not sure the penalty was actually his fault. I don't think he did actually bring down Abrahams. And obviously he saved the 5th Chelsea penalty to win the match for Liverpool. So an 8.5 for Adrian, man of the match. Joe Gomez next, I'm going to give him a 7. He had a busy game. He looked sharper in this game, I thought, than in previous games. He played on the right-hand side, right back this time. Matip came in at centre-half. He looked a bit more comfortable with his positioning. He was then moved to left back in the extra time when Trent Alexander-Arnold came on. So overall, I thought he did well. He had a good game, a 7 for Joe Gomez. Andy Robertson next. He was subbed off on 90. I'm going to give him a 6.5. Quite a game for Andy Robertson. I thought he did okay. He defended well, but a couple of times he did some great covering when Chelsea broke through the back line. So I thought he defended really well. But going forward, just didn't quite come off for him in attack tonight. So I'm going to give Andy Robertson 6.5. On to Joel Matip next. I'm going to give him a 7.5. He had a good, busy game, got well involved. He had some timely interceptions, lots of them as well. And he played the full 120 minutes. I thought he had a good, solid game, did everything that was asked of him. On to Virgil van Dijk. I'm going to give him the same as Matip, 7.5. Again, he was usual, calm, cool, commanding at centre-half. He played the full 120 minutes again, and he had a good game. So I'll just put up on screen now the stats for the full-backs, for the defence. Joe Gomez there, 83% pass accuracy. Andy Robertson probably had the worst at 78%, and Virgil van Dijk and Matip, 82 and 90. Probably the busiest of the defenders was Matip there, 6 interceptions, 5 tackles, 4 clearances. Gomez as well, quite busy, 3 interceptions, 5 tackles, 2 clearances. Andy Robertson had the quieter of the one, a lot of clearances there by Virgil van Dijk in the right place at the right time to clear the ball, 9 clearances. So that's the defenders. On to the midfield now. James Milner, we start with him. He was subbed off on 63. I'm only going to give him a 6.5. I thought he did okay and he kept busy. His passing not as accurate as usual, and he didn't really create a lot, didn't get involved enough for me. So 6.5 for James Milner. Fabinho, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought his first half was quiet, and I thought Chelsea midfield got the better of him in the first half, but he had a really good second half. He controlled the ball a lot more, and he dominated the midfield a lot more in the second half. So I'm going to give Fabinho a 7. Jordan Henderson, I'm only going to give him a 6.5. A quieter game for him. His pass accuracy I thought was poor. He lost the ball too many times. and he tended to go missing at times. He didn't see enough of the ball for me, so I'm just going to give him a 6.5. I'll put up on screen now the stats for the midfielders. And you can see there Jordan Henderson has got the worst of the pass accuracy, down at 71%, which is unusual for him. Him and James Milner were also the quieter of the ones. You can see Fabinho got involved a lot more with 90 touches, more tackles and shots as well there. So just Fabinho generally was the busier of the midfields. I thought the other two were quieter, not up to their usual high standards. Up in attack now, gonna give Mo Salah a 7. I thought he did okay. He kept trying to create something. No goals, no assists tonight for him. Things didn't just quite come off for him really tonight. I thought he had a good game, but just not up to his usual standard. You expect a goal, you expect an assist, but just a 7 for Mo Salah tonight. On to Satyam Arnie. He was subbed off on 102 and he looked tired when he came off. Going to give him an 8. I thought he had a really good game. He was a little bit quieter in the first half, but he livened up as it went on. I prefer him wide on the left rather than down the middle. He had 2 great goals as well, and he was always a threat, so I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he did really well. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain subbed on 45. I'm only going to give him a 6.5. He doesn't look up to speed yet. He still looks to be running sort of at 70% of what he's capable of. He wasn't involved enough in the game for my liking. Subbed off on 45, so I'm only going to give him a 6.5. On to the subs now. First one, Roberto Firmino, subbed on 45. I'm going to give him a 7.5. I thought he did really well. He came on, he livened it up a bit up front. He got the assist on Mane's goal, and he linked up well with Salah. I thought he always looked a threat, so 7.5 for him. Wijnaldum, only 6.5. A quiet game for him. Didn't get involved enough for my liking, but he did okay. Trent Alexander-Arnold came on 90 minutes for extra time. Give him a 6.5. He did okay. Hard to judge him when somebody's just on for extra time. But what he did okay. And Divock Origi, I'm going to give him a 7. He came on 102 minutes. Again, it's hard to judge, but he was a willing runner, and he scored one of the penalties, obviously, right at the end in the penalty shootout. So we'll just put on screen now the stats for the attackers. You can see there Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't really get involved in the game. Mo Salah, pass accuracy wasn't up to his usual high standard, but he was heavily involved. You can see most touches there, 6 shots, only 2 on target. Sadio Mane, 7 shots, 4 on target. So there we go. There's the player ratings. Overall, a good performance. I thought Chelsea were a little bit unfortunate, but overall I think Liverpool deserved the win. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see further videos, click the subscribe button below. If you like the video, give it a quick like, and thanks once again for watching.